Hey everyone, Andrew Grant here for Voro RC. This is going to be a remade version of the How to Fly 4-channel video that I posted about 5 years ago. In this video, it's not going to be as much of an overview. It's going to be much more basic to help out with a much higher success rate. In addition to that, I'm going to put out a bunch of beginner videos, a bunch of intermediate videos, and have an advanced section as well. So we'll have many videos for just specified for beginners, going and just breaking everything down very easily to ensure the best success. This one, we're just going to make a very simple how to fly 4 channel. Then we're going to have turns, then figure eights, and then a whole bunch of other specifically landing videos. But this is going to be just the how to fly your first flight, how to succeed on that first flight, and then we'll make other videos to move on from there, and then line up everything chronologically, and hopefully soon we'll have tons and tons of videos, and one video for every single small thing that is involved with RC flight is the goal. So this is the first ever flight, how to succeed. So let's get into it. This is a RC simulator. This is Phoenix 5.5. I prefer Phoenix 5.5 over the other simulators. There's also Real Flight. I believe they're up to Real Flight 10 right now. It could be wrong. Real Flight 8. But regardless, even the old simulators way back to like Phoenix 3 or Real Flight 4 are very good as well. And then there's some off-brand other ones. This is going to be your key to success, is getting a hold of a simulator. It really ensures your success. It makes your flight times go way up, because instead of going to the airfield for a couple hours and you're flying maybe a total of 30 minutes in the air, you're going to be sitting on your computer for an hour and get an hour in the air. So it really helps out a lot. It really ensures success, and it accelerates your learning curve immensely. So this is Phoenix. First thing we're going to do on any simulator is find the trainer for the simulator. Phoenix has multiple, as you can see here. There's two main ones. There's the high wing trainer, which is the equivalent to like a Next Star or any type of nitro trainer. The E-Flight Apprentice. Now there's two versions, so you might have a different version of Phoenix. There's two different apprentices on the new version. There's the old Apprentice that was out a couple years ago with no gyro, no safe system in it. And then there's this Apprentice, which has the safe system in it, which is Horizon Hobbies gyro. Basically, it keeps the airplane straight. There's 3 different modes in it. On the actual airplane, there is beginner, intermediate, and advanced. On the simulator, it's just beginner and advanced. Well, I'll talk about that in a second. So I'm going to select the E-Flight Apprentice, the newer one, and we're going to go with that one. So to succeed on the first flight, we're going to talk about the controls, and then we're going to talk about what controls we're going to use, what controls we're not really going to worry about, and then we'll move on. So control 1 is going to be our ailerons. Control 2 is going to be our elevator. Control 3 is our throttle. Control 4 is our rudder. Now, the way we observe the remote control is there's four controls multiplied by 2, because 2 different directions. So we have 8 different controls in which we can really use for a basic 4-channel aircraft. We have right aileron, left aileron, up elevator, down elevator, left rudder, right rudder, throttle up, throttle down, and that's basically 8 individual controls. Now, to succeed on your first flight, we're only going to focus on 3. Okay, we're going to do right aileron for banking and turning, left aileron for banking and turning, elevator to go up, and then we're not going to do anything to go down. The only thing we're going to do when we want to go down is just pull back the throttle. Usually gravity will take care of it. It's a very bad habit to get into, to push the elevator down. We're going to save that for much more advanced videos when we're doing aerobatics. But just to push the airplane nose down, it does technically work, but it is not encouraged because it will create a lot more issues down the road. Just pull back the throttle, let your glide take you down, and we'll move on from there. All right, once we get up there, we're going to fly in an oval pattern, and we're going to talk a little bit about orientation. And then we're going to talk about rising and setting, and then we're going to do a little bit on touching on landing. So this is going to be a little bit of an overview. but much easier, much more broken down than the last video, and I'd recommend you just to focus on this video for success. If you're new to the channel, don't worry about the other videos yet. Just focus on this one, and the forward ones are going to have a lot better information on it. So once we take off, we're going to slowly advance the throttle, get it up to about 3/4. The airplane is going to accelerate a little bit. It's going to catch up some speed. Once it gets some speed, we're just going to breathe. I use that term, breathe, on the elevator. So the secret to success is staying calm, relaxing, and small movements. I do a lot of one-on-one training, and I teach. And one of the things I teach is actually go out, and if you can chew gum chewing helps out a lot with RC flying, because for most people it calms them down. It establishes a rhythm. It establishes a calmness for your flight. So if you chew gum, make sure you can chew gum while you fly. If you don't chew gum, that's okay too. Listening to music is okay. Just make sure that your airfield allows it, or where you're flying allows it. But just make sure you stay calm. Make sure you are relaxed. You're not tense, and that's really the secret. Don't try to be super focused on the airplane, because that's when you're going to get out of control, because you're going to be overthinking everything. You're going to be making big maneuvers, and it just won't work out very well. Make sure you stay relaxed, stay calm, and find a way to keep yourself calm. So while I've been up here, we're just doing a simple basic pattern. And again, I cannot reiterate it enough. Small movements is the secret. So all I'm doing, I haven't touched the left stick here. It's not even on my controller right now. All we're doing is making a slight bank to the left, bringing back the aileron, and then pulling just a little bit on the elevator, and we're making a turn. Once we get 90 degrees around, or 180 degrees around, excuse me, we're leveling out, and then we're just doing it again on the other side of the field. That's all we're doing. Okay. Once we get used to that, the next step is going to be switching the direction. So we're going to do a right-handed turn now instead of a left-handed turn. So we're going to cut the corner a little bit here, and we're going to swing around, and then we're going to start a right-handed pattern where we make nothing but right turns. Now, if you have issues with orientation, what happens a lot is while the plane is going away from us, right is right, left is left, but as soon as that airplane's facing us, right is now left. But only in our minds. It's actually just an orientation thing where we get confused. That's all it is. A kind of an easy cheat to this is I'm going to turn here, and as soon as the airplane's facing me, I'm actually going to rotate my body a little bit so it's facing away from the airplane, and it's going to seem like I'm behind the airplane. It's going to help out a little bit. So I encourage you to try this. It doesn't work for everyone, but it does work for some people. When the airplane's coming at you, just rotate your body a little bit, and it puts you kind of behind the pilot. It helps you a little bit about that with that orientation until you can get a little more used to it. Because flying airplanes is not very hard. As long as we make it easy on ourselves, we don't do a whole lot. We're only using 3 of our 8 channels. We're going to help ourselves out with orientation, and we're going to make sure we stay calm. It's a very enjoyable experience, and that's what we want. Okay, now once we've got the right-handed pattern down, we're just going to do a couple of rises. So we're going to go up in altitude and then come down in altitude. Then we're going to land. So going up in altitude, we're going to finally use that left stick, and we're going to increase the throttle, and then we're just going to let it go up on itself. It's getting more lift, and it's going to go up. Once we get up to a good altitude, pull the throttle back, and there's our glide again. Now, we don't want to climb in turns just yet. We just want to make our climbs and descents in straight lines. So once we want to come down, we're just going to bring back the throttle. We can bring it all the way to idle. With trainer planes, they glide a long time. And then you'll see it just comes down. It keeps coming down. And then level off, and then we can start turning again. Okay. So now we're going to set up an approach. That's the last step to this. Don't worry about this. If it's your first time landing, don't worry too much about hitting your target. Just make sure you're not hitting a physical object on the ground. But soccer fields or big open fields are very useful for this because they're just big open spaces. You have a huge target. Don't worry about hitting a small target, and don't try to hit a small target. So step 1 is we're going to set up our approach, bring back the throttle, allow it to glide, and you'll see this airplane glides a pretty good amount. And we can do a touch and go here. We're just going to come down, touch the wheels, roll out a little bit, increase the throttle back up, and take off again. All right. Now, the biggest key here is don't come in too low. All right. You want to put yourself pretty far away on that approach because you want to have a lot of time. You want to be able to make a mistake, but you don't want to be too low, or else it's just going to be too hard to line up. The thing is, if you're high enough, you will get used to the glide slope of it. You're not going to undershoot your target. You might overshoot your target, but that's okay. The plane will be okay. If you overshoot your target. If you undershoot your target, the plane won't be okay. So we're coming in again, we're gliding, bringing back the throttle all the way, and then adding that pressure on the elevator, pulling, bringing that nose up right before. There's our flare, there's our touchdown, and then we can take off again. We'll do one more. And so we're going to set up our wide approach. I'll do a little bit higher approach this time with a little bit more gliding. So we're going to set up a nice big approach, start bringing back the throttle, level out, then we start our descent. Again, we don't descend and turn or climb and turn just yet. Just straight, level, and descend. Flare right about there, touchdown, and slow to a stop. We'll taxi it back over here. That'll pretty much do it, guys. Thank you so much for rewatching this. If you're an old-time supporter of the channel, I thank you for the continued support. There will be a lot more videos out, and they will be everything from every type of beginner maneuver, every single intermediate maneuver, and every single advanced maneuver. And we're going to do a whole bunch of other types of videos as well, a lot of outside videos as well, and build videos, everything like that. I do hope everyone has a successful first flight, and stay tuned and watch the other videos. Subscribe. Please post at the bottom what you want to learn, or if you can't understand something, or if you're stuck on something, feel free to post down there and ask questions. I will definitely answer them. Thank you so much, guys. Have a wonderful time flying, and take care.